Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. Well, tonight, Sunday night, I'm coming to you and I had a request of what paints do I use and how to make I had somebody else ask me how do I make flesh tone. So here are the colors that I use. Now I'm going to give a little story with this. When I first came into this, back to dolls was one thing, but restoration was a whole nother game. And I'm not an art student. I never have been. I struggled in art. I would rather write about what I saw. I say that a lot because I could write about it, but putting the brush to the paper was a whole problem for me. So I shied away from anything art-minded, and I just stayed away from it. Even arts and crafts, I just didn't think I had it in me to do this. Well, as time I saw the dolls that I was buying, what I could afford at the time, they came in and they had issues all the time. Paint lifting, not the correct paint on them. And I thought, you know what, I can tackle this, I can do this. So anyways, that's what I did. I slowly, and I made a lot of mistakes. And I have shown some of my mistakes, and I will always. As I move through this, you will see where I struggle. You're going to see where I have victories and I do wonderful work. You're going to see where I slip again. I go backwards. When it came to my airbrush the one day there, I was so secured on how I put it back together, I forgot a step. I forgot where I put the little trigger to push back, but I'm back to putting it where it is again. That's how it is. That's life, and we're up and down and whatever else. But anyways, when it comes to the paint, I went into Michael's and I said to this young girl, I said, look, I know nothing about art. I need to make flesh tone for my dolls. And so anyway, she says, oh, I'm an art student. What she was directing me towards was how to make human-like. I don't want to make human-like. I want to make doll-like. Doll paint from the 20s, 30s, 40s, which is the vast majority of the dolls that I work on, 50s a bit. Composition dolls. I love my wood dolls, my composition dolls. And so she was telling me about putting yellows and greens and blues and all these other colors in there because we have little hints and hues of colors all through our skin, which is true, but I wasn't trying to make human-like. Where do we make human-like dolls? It's when you're into the realistic dolls, which we call reborns. Now, there you might want to put some of those colors in, but not with what I'm doing. And what you might want to do for your doll. We're returning them back to doll-like. That's what we're doing. Or they're human-like, but they're doll. They're doing doll painting, I should say. They're representing us, but they're not in the true form. So anyways, I bought all these paints. I had yellows and greens and blues and oranges and everything else. And I came home and I stared at it and went, okay, let's make some paint up, Let's make, flesh tone. Oh, I had every color underneath the rainbow. I had yellows and green, to yellow, to orange, to red, to white, to everything. And that's why some of my dolls in the beginning when I was restoring came out very either jaundice or they came out very anemic. And I had to get away from what she started. She was the worst to start off with in what I was trying to do. I leaned on her thinking she knew what I wanted, but she didn't. So I got left with all these colors. And so finally I sat down by myself and I started off with white. Let's put our white paint in. We're just going to put a little bit because I don't want to make up too much paint right now because I want to make a brand new batch coming up. And I will show that to everybody. So let's stir our paint up and let's get a stir stick here. And we're going to stir up our paint. But before I do that, I have to open up my paper towels here. When I bought these paper towels, they came in a big plastic bag, and then they were wrapped individually. And I'm like, they're already in a plastic bag. I don't like more plastic. Okay. But I gotta have my paper towels ready. Okay, there we go. Alright, so anyways. Okay, I got some paper towels ready here. Alright, we got some, because you know what? I come in the house wearing paint all over me. Except my clothes. I do so well. Now that I said that, who knows what's going to happen today. Okay, but anyways, we're going to stir up my little can of paint here. This is rust paint. I'm in Canada. We have environmental laws. Some places in the States also has environmental laws that where they don't allow oil paint to be used anymore. Maybe in your country, another country out there. I don't know what England's like. Maybe Mexico. I got some wonderful people from Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. If I'm not naming your country, you know, tell me. Russia. I have some people from Russia that are on my channel as well. And they tell me Italy. You know, maybe you can tell me China. I've got them all over the place that they come from. Maybe you can tell me what's allowed in your country. But I can tell you right now, in mine, I'm not allowed to have oil paint. To paint outside like we used to do on our wooden houses. You would want oil paint for that. We've got wonderful latex. We have wonderful acrylic paints now. And they're the ones that have taken over the market. And oil paint has went to the side. Well, this is oil paint. How did I get that? Well, this is rust paint. It is called, in my country, it's called Tremclad. Tremclad is an oil paint. So you can paint your rusted steel furniture outside. It shows a wagon on here. Where's my other can? I got 2 cans of this so I can show you what it looks like. And you might have Rust-Oleum where in your country. There's Rust-Oleum and there's Tremclad. They both work the same way. They're oil paint. So this is what you're going to want to go to. Now, I like the fact, now I bought these because the store was going out of business. I will not buy this size again because I need the bigger size, but this was great for the price that I paid for them. So, and for where I am at, a big can is about $30 and the big, huge gallon can is like something like $60-something. I'd never buy the $60 one because the paint goes hard on me. The $30 one, sometimes I can get it a little lot less too, depending on, like this time of the year, this is when I should be buying it because why? All the paints are going on sale because people want to paint, right? So anyways, this is what I use. It's called Tremclad Rust. But it also says on there, if you read it really great on here, it says oil-based technology. It's oil paint. That's what this is. So I've stirred up my paint. Now, what do I want to do with my paint? I'm going to use this little, my daughter buys these little cereal. This is Corn Pops by Kellogg's. So she had cereal one day there, and I said, you save those for me, please. And she washes them up for me. So we're just going to get a teaspoon here. That's all I want, because I'm not going to make a lot up. All right, so we got our little bit of paint there. All right, there we go. Now that I got my white in there, what do I want to base it with? That's your base amount, your white. So whatever amount if you're doing $20, let's say, $1, you're going to make paint to what is going to be a custom if you want to paint $1. So if you're painting $20, you might want to make a bigger batch. You know, it's up to you. I don't like making too much. The most I'll do is a half a jar in this gets a spaghetti sauce in it. Okay, so I keep my jars and I go through them pretty fast. One day I'll have a whole bunch and then I have nothing. So I'm going to put just a little bit of orange because this is a little bit of a little bit here, right? Okay, I'm just going to use this brush here. Still got a lot of this. It'll influence it. It's got a lot of red on it. Gee. No, I don't want to use that right now. Let me get another one. Yeah, I'll use this one right here. Okay. All right, so we're going to get a little bit of orange. Put that on my brush right there. Okay. That looks a little too firm for me. Something gooky. Yeah. All right, I don't like that gooky. Okay, let's just get this here. A little bit of orange. There we go. I'll put that in my thing there. I don't need that anymore. That's enough right there. Okay, now that makes it really nice and orangey. That's okay. We're going to let that be like it is. Stir that up. I'll show it to you in a minute because I got it tilted now. I can come bring it down a little bit. And you'll see that the white mutes that orange. It almost has a flesh tone look right now, but not good enough just right now. Now remember these colors that you're using off to the side, that your orange, your burnt umber, and this is called Brilliant Red. That's the red I use, okay? So now that's as much orange as I want to put in there. I don't want any more orange now. So now what we're going to do, we got that stirred up. We're going to put in some burnt umber, just a little bit again, because this is strong. These colors are strong. So I don't want that. I got to get a stick. I should have, see, I think this stuff up, but I never grab what I'm in need of for the video itself. So I think everything's right around me here. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. All right, now I just want a little tidbit of that. That burnt umber is strong. So there we go. I just want to get that down in there. See what it did already? That little bit of brown just took it and turned it into a whole different color. Look at that nice flesh tone. Isn't that nice? It's beautiful. Now we just want a tint of red. Again, we just want a little bit. Okay, that's all we need of that. Now we're going to put a little bit of red in there. Burnt umber will bring out the color. They all do. Now this is, like I say, this is how I make mine. Just a little bit of red. Red is strong. And you can't take it out once it's in. I think we could put a little bit more red in that. Just a little bit more red. Now you can make this lighter. Now you can mute this a little bit more if you want it to. Because, yeah, you could do that. Okay, now that red is starting to take effect. Yeah, there we go. You could add a little bit of white to mute it more if you find that's a little bit on the darker side for you. But it's really a nice color. Like, that's beautiful. Again, we're not going for... Now, this is a little bit darker than this. But that's not bad at all. Look at that. That's really a nice color. And there's your flesh tone. And those are the colors that I use to make my flesh tone. Now, I could have this a little bit redder if I think I want just a little bit more red in there. So you can do it. But like I say, you can see how much red I'm putting in because it's potent. It is going to turn things to cherry. And you want to watch that. Okay, because it's a strong color. So if you want a little bit more rosiness in that color, you can. But be careful. Like I say, that is nice. I'd stop there. I can see the red in that now. That is beautiful. Oh! Now, if you want to just mute it a little bit more, you can. And put a little bit more white in that. I'm not going to do that. But you could. And you could get a beautiful color out of that. So I hope you enjoy seeing that. I hope that showed you how I make my paints. That's it right there. You're ready. If you make more than this, of course, you will have a beautiful doll that turns out just wonderful. Now, just an update. I did take my Tremclad. I did take my spray. Where is it? My car. I'm going to get right here. I'm not going to try saying it. My Krylon varnish. And I did spray an arm. And it's drying right now. So we're just going to let it do its thing right now. So I took it outside and I sprayed it. It's not leaving an odor in here right now. I don't smell anything. Let me see. Oh shoot, what got on you here? Okay, that came out. Oh, it's dried already. Oh, it's dried already. Oh, I love this. Look how nice it turned out. Look how nice. It's dried already. Oh, and it feels beautiful. Oh, I got to do the rest of the doll. I got to do the rest. Sorry, I'm excited. That is nice. Look at the shininess on it. Oh my goodness, I love it. Love it. Oh my goodness, yes. I thought it was still wet because it's so shiny. I thought it was still wet. Oh wow, now you can touch this and it won't come up on your hands now. Okay, I'm happy. I'm really happy with this. Okay, I was experimenting with this and I wasn't sure. Oh, I got to do the whole heads and everything. We got some work to do up ahead of us. So you can see I'm discovering things as we move along. And that's the beauty of this. So I hope you like what you saw there. That is pretty. Oh, and it didn't take long to dry. It was just a matter of seconds and it was dry. Holy crow, that was nice. Woo! Okay, I'll bring my excitement down. Okay, so back to our paint here, okay? I'm glad I showed that to you. So there's my colors. Yeah, Brillant Red. Burnt Umber. Let's put our lids back on so our paints don't dry out. Get rid of this here. Okay, so there you go. And just a plain good old orange. These are Artist Loft paints. They're not high-end paints. They're not low-end either. They're very good paints. This is what I suggest. You can see I made up a nice skin tone there. Like I said, if that's too dark for what you're looking for, you're doing more a little baby maybe. You might want to go a little, mute it with a little bit of white. I wouldn't put much in, a little bit at a time. And you could have yourself a beautiful paint for your doll. This stuff is nice and smooth, goes on. Now, oh, let's also say something. Now, when you want to go paint this onto your doll, you want to thin it out. Okay, and I use a little bit of paint thinner. This is the one I use. You don't have to buy what I use. I get this from Michael's though, and it's Mona Lisa. It's odorless. So you're not adding anything into your home for your pets, your children, your grandparents, whoever's with you, your partner. Doesn't matter. You're not going to hurt anybody in your household because there's no smell to this. You see me use it. I put it right across my hands to get paint off of me. Not a big deal. Okay, so understand and know that. And I have to admit, this is what I've always used. And this is what I've always used for my paints. I don't stray. When I find something that works, I stay with it. Now, I'm always encouraging myself to look at different ways and different things, but nothing has come close to what I've done. I made this up on my own. Nobody helped me. I went into I had a shop out here that was just a quarter of this shop, and my husband had a little library out here that was all cornered off, and you had to go through doors to get to it in here, believe it or not. It was a door within a door, that's how it worked. And I would go in there and I just sit by myself and mix paints up. I had paint cups everywhere. At that time I had little yogurt cups. I still have some here. And in the little yogurt cups I would mix up paint, and I tell you, I had all kinds of cups everywhere. And this here has been the best for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this enlightened a lot of you. And don't be afraid to mix colors. This is a safety zone. Oh, and your Tremclad. Remember that. Those are your 5 colors. I don't want to say 5 because that's just the same as this. These are your 4 colors that you want to make up your flesh tone. And look how beautiful it turned out. This is gorgeous paint. And how many coats do I put on a doll? Once I thin this down, about 4 to 5 coats, sometimes 3. You have to determine that yourself because it depends on how thin you make it. So most of the time for me, it's about 4 to 5 coats. All right, thank you for joining me. If you like what you just heard today, thumbs up, please. I would enjoy that. And a comment would be nice because what do we call that? My mail in the air, and you don't have to use a stamp. All right, thanks again for joining me, and we'll be coming back really soon. Bye-bye.